2018 has been a crazy year for us. We did not think that, you know, when we were standing here a year ago talking about what we wanted to do for 2018, that we would be anywhere near this. We had no idea that we were going to be moving, and now we're on a farm, which is just crazy.
Yep. It wasn't even on the radar.
Wasn't even on the radar. And so we are going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of 2018.
Well, obviously, the best thing of 2018 was the fact that we moved here. We moved to this beautiful farm. We never thought that we'd be able to combine an acreage farm property with still living in Kelowna, which is the city that we love and we've lived in for. Serena grew up here, and you know, I'm a convert, but like there's no place I'd rather be. Property values here are pretty ridiculous, so we didn't think that we'd be able to find an acreage. But
yeah, this was never in the budget. Mm-hmm. Buying a farm in Kelowna is definitely on the ugly side of things, because they're all
lots of
all over $1 million.
Lots of them have been converted to mansions. It's like you buy the farm and then you tear down the little old 1960s house and you build this like giant modern mansion, and that's what's been happening to all the farmland around here. So to be able to find a place with a cool, funky old farmhouse and stuff, and you know, acres, and there's a lot of pluses about this place that we'll get into, but you know, we're really lucky and we're excited. At the start of 2018, I was, you know, working up north in forestry stuff that I do, and I caught a really good run of luck, and I had a really good job that I got on that lasted for a bunch of months, and because of that job, financially, we were able to afford this place. And having this place kind of means that, to me, it means that I get to be an entrepreneur for life. I'm a never job. You know, because now I have space, and because of my skill set, I should always be able to, you know, work for myself with this kind of space as a, you know, place to park trucks, or if I bought a bobcat, or if I had like a landscaping company. There's lots of opportunities, if not just in the farm side of things, but you know, I should be able to keep myself an entrepreneur for the rest of my life. And so that was really exciting for me, because it's not like I can't work a 9-to-5 job, but
He just won't.
I just won't, yeah. Which,
you know, and it's exciting for me too, because with this space, then I can develop a business for myself in creating a farm.
Yeah.
So I get to now be a farmer.
Yep.
One of the bad sides of all of that, though, is how much money we spent this year.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
The amount of money that's gone out in buying this place, and then also in all the work that we've done, has been a little hard. A little hard on my heart.
It is challenging. You know, the good side of it was that we had a good year financially.
Yeah,
and then we
like,
sold
we're not
our
going
house.
into debt. It's just,
yeah, our house also benefited from you know,
expensive real estate market.
yeah, which is why we were able to afford this place fairly laterally. Like this did cost more, but it was reasonably a lateral movement.
Yeah, and then
But
as bad as it was to be spending for all the big projects that we've been doing this year, I'd say the ugly part is every single bill we get for this new house. We knew when we bought it the fact that all of our bills were going to go way, way up, but it's still sticker shock every single time we get it.
Yeah.
At our old place, a water bill was like nothing. It was like $50 for a couple months, and here, without us watering the field, our first water bill was $600, which equaled out to $200 a month, which is like
a lot.
like
You know,
heart stopping.
we have a $150 natural gas bill and a $170 power bill.
Yeah,
And
whereas normally, like,
it was pretty minimal. Like it was,
yeah, it would be like 75 a month.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have this giant 2,000 square foot outbuilding that's heated by electricity, and then we have this, you know,
Old
120-year-old
house.
farmhouse that, you know, whistles in the wind, and it's heated by natural gas and a fireplace, and it's just, yeah. We also spent, you know, $600 on wood or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So there's been
we've
a
definitely
lot of money.
we've upped the cost of living significantly.
Yeah. We have been very busy this year. Once we decided we were moving, like, not only did we have to pack up our old house, then we had to move here and then get our old place renovated for the market and then get this place. You know, we really wanted to get as much growing this year as possible so we could get a taste of what this property was like for growing stuff on it.
Yeah,
So,
this property was a blank slate, which is awesome, but that also means that any changes that we want to see happen had to be done by us. So this was definitely the year of hard work for us.
yeah.
But you know, it's also it's it's us committing to the life of hard work. That's why we bought the place.
Yeah. One of the downsides of that is that our social life suffered significantly.
Yeah, our social life is hanging out here together, digging ditches.
Yeah.
But we did make a huge amount of progress, I feel, on the property.
Yeah.
We got all of our plants transplanted over from our old place, which was no small feat considering the fact we had our old house just planted to capacity.
Yeah.
So having that and bringing that over totally transformed this place. We went from it just being a field to, you know, lots of gardens, not just, you know, a small veggie garden, but, you know, established things that look now like they've been here forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of our goals this year was to get our outbuilding sided and, you know,
I mean,
finished.
transformed.
Yeah, transformed.
Really.
And we've gotten, it has been transformed, but it's not in its final form yet. The siding is done on one of 4 sides.
Yeah, I definitely say that's one of the bad things.
Yeah.
We really had hoped to get that done this year.
But we had a problem with materials that set us back a bunch. And,
Yeah, I mean, we should have planned for setbacks because,
yeah.
you know, everything going wrong is probably the one thing that we can say will always happen.
We did make a lot of progress on the shop, but we're not in a position yet to call that finished. And we're not in a position yet to renovate the inside of the suite that is in the outbuilding. So, you know, we still have a lot of work to do on that building, and we were hoping to be a little further along. So
Yeah, I definitely say we're a couple months behind where we hoped to be.
Mhm.
And so now it is looking ugly. But it is, you know, all the work that we've done has really, you know,
yeah,
changed what this place looks like. We've looked back at some pictures and it, you know, you can really see the work that we've put in.
it started to add up. It's not just us in the family, it's also the kids. And we were worried about how the kids would react to the move because, you know, they were having like a lot of fun with one of our neighbors at our old place, and out here we weren't really gonna have time to, you know, be social with other
Yeah, one of the
families.
downsides of, you know, being so busy is not just our social life suffering, but also like the kids. Like,
Luckily, they play together really well and they have a lot of fun together for the most part. And they enjoyed having all this extra space to run around in. They really did have a lot of fun here.
yeah, they
And-
loved the projects too.
Yeah.
Like Sam was always out here wanting to help, and Leah, even though she claims that her legs get tired because the property's too big, she was still really enjoying running around.
Yeah.
You know,
And-
one of our priorities was to build this new fence line to kind of trap them in just because they were enjoying running around almost too much.
Yeah.
We needed to narrow them in. But
The outbuilding was definitely a dangerous place to be around.
and will continue.
Yeah. So, this will serve as a good barrier for them, but
Yeah, one of the things that we were the most excited about this place was the way that it gave the kids the freedom to just go outside. Whereas at our old place, there was no access to the backyard off the house.
Yeah.
And so, we weren't quite comfortable, and also, other people around us might not have been comfortable to have the kids just, running in and out unsupervised. Whereas here, all the space and all the space from the house and, like the privacy of having so much space has really like allowed the kids to have a freedom that they really enjoy.
Yeah. Hey Serena, when's the best time to plant a fruit tree?
20 years ago.
When is the second best time?
Now.
That's right. We have a lot of fruit trees here. When we moved on the property, there's like a dozen cherry trees and apricots and a plum tree and a walnut and a hazelnut.
Yeah.
So there's lots of stuff that the property came with. But we also went out there in the fall and got like 13.
Yeah, I think so.
Another like 13 fruit trees of, various types at a pretty smoking deal. And so those have been planted and they're ready for next year. And we still have space for probably about 20 more.
No, probably 30.
30?
We probably want to plant at least another 30 like full-size trees.
Mm-hmm.
And then it'll all get filled in with shrubs as well.
So that's super exciting for us because,
because we know how much one fruit tree produces.
Yeah.
So the concept of having a property with like 50 fruit trees.
Yeah, of
in
all
the
these different
future,
types, like, stuff kind of coming in at different times of the season and stuff. It's very much permaculture paradise. We've admired permaculture for a long time, so to be able to have like a little orchard to ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, we were working at the old place. The plan for 2018 was to build our micro orchard.
Yeah.
And for that to get thrown out, and then here we are standing a year later, and we have planted a full-sized orchard with space for like even more, like, to the size that it's like going to be fruit to sell.
Yeah.
Is pretty amazing. Though, I mean, it's definitely going to be on the learning curve list.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a
Ian,
lot of labor.
I told Ian he's in charge of the fruit trees, and we didn't prune our fruit trees yet.
Yeah, we have cherry trees that need prunings pretty bad.
5 years ago they needed a pruning. One of the things we've been super excited about and is slightly weird to be talking about is we have 1 million cats now.
Yeah.
We have 6 cats, and we're crazy cat people, so
Yeah, we're embracing it.
So that makes us happy.
When we had our kids, all of our cats were like already adults. And so one of the cats that we got was a kitten. So it was a lot of fun to get to have like our kids play with a kitten. Because,
Yeah, Bo was a cutie. And Bo's been loving the farm too.
Yeah.
He's always climbing all the trees.
He's definitely built for the farm. He's a wild man. It's definitely been fun to, have the ability to have so many cats because they're fun, right? It's like their family. So our family got bigger. The downside of having 6 cats is the vet bills have been like ridiculous. Another thing that we've just been spending so much money on. If it's not like, well, when we moved in, one of the cats had to have an eye removed right away, and that was like $1,500 right there. And then cats have been getting in fights. They've been fighting with each other. And so there've been all of these, bite wounds, and every time a cat has to go under, it's like $500. And
Yeah, we've had thousands of dollars go out for the cats this year, and normally our cats don't cost us that much money.
Yeah.
Like, we've been fairly lucky where there's only been, you know, the occasional.
Every year there's like one of the cats needs something, but
Yeah. But there was definitely a lot of cat money spent this year.
yeah. Probably one of the worst things about this past year goes back to how busy we've been, and we haven't been able to eat very well.
We're so used to eating what's in season in the garden that when we didn't have a garden, because we were moving and transitioning, it totally changed our diet.
Yeah.
And then we were so busy that it well, it didn't force us, but it, you know, encouraged us to eat a lot of convenience food.
Yeah.
Which is also not necessarily what we're used to. And
Right now we're still eating like that. Like we don't have a garden, and we didn't have all the food grown that we normally would to have the, you know, the food stores that we'd normally be consuming at this time of year.
yeah, normally we're eating through the freezer.
Yeah, and that's just not there this year. So, like, I don't feel as healthy as I normally do. Like,
Yes,
I'm definitely feeling like I feel gross in my skin, and I know, like, we both put weight on.
Yeah, we're joking that
good-
what we look like due to our bad diet is the ugly.
Yeah.
Because we both have definitely put on weight this year, despite how much work we've been doing, just because of the bad eating habits.
You know, I would just like go into the garden and just forage a meal every day. You know, in the morning I'd go and I'd just kind of hang out. And that's where I get a lot of my greens, because I like to eat like kales and stuff like that, like the leafy greens. I like to eat them just raw in the garden.
Yeah, Ian's out in the yard chewing his cud.
Yeah. And without that, you know, I don't really like to buy that type of stuff at the grocery store, because I don't end up eating it in the same way, right? Like something about just like picking stuff and being in the garden and doing
Well, it's not as good.
It's not as good, yeah.
Like homegrown, just, you know, like salads are gross.
So
But like greens out of the garden are awesome.
there is like a bright spot on the horizon where, like, by the time the spring hits, you know, our spinaches will be going crazy, and a lot of the stuff that we overwintered will start taking over, and we'll be able to, you know, from then on, from the rest of our life,
Yeah,
we'll
no
be
excuses.
drowning in greens, and, you know, like the amount of food that the place will be kicking out.
Yeah. And
will be
hopefully,
tremendous.
hopefully with all the hard work that we have planned for next year, combined with the diet, then
Yeah.
we'll start to look good.
Yeah. And feel good, because
Yeah, definitely.
You know, you are what
it
you
makes,
eat, right?
It makes a huge difference.
and same with the kids. Like, you feel bad when you feed them junk food and stuff, or
Even
it's like,
though they
oh,
love it.
this is what's for lunch, and then they're like, this is the only thing we want to eat forever.
Bad habits.
Yeah, so we've got some bad habits to crack next year. The best thing of all of this is the vision for the future. You know, we've been talking about all these things that we wanted to do since we've been together, basically. Like, we've always had gardens together, and we've always kind of like been pushing each other in one way or another. Like, oh, let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. And there's all these things that we could never do.
Yeah, the steps we could take were always smaller because we were limited in what we could do.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Now it's like the only limit is us.
Yeah.
So it's both, you know, that is intimidating.
Yes, definitely. Especially, you know, we're like Ian and I have been pretty burnt out this last month. We've been taking it pretty easy for a while now, just because we we fought the good fight all summer, and then, you know, it just was relentless, and it was also frustrating because we were sitting there and, you know, we work all day and we couldn't see a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like, it's satisfying to get a job completed, but when you're like working on like a 2,000 square foot building, you know, a couple hours doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So the long term though is looking super bright, and I think that, you know, if we just keep kind of like chipping away at all these projects that we want to do, that even by the end of next year, this place is going to be like super cool.
Yeah.
And you know, in 5 years time, we're going to have this like
Yeah, we should be
little
where we want to
paradise.
be.
Yeah.
I always love saying to people when they look and they're like, wow, it's so beautiful. I'm like, it'll never look as ugly as it does right now. And it's not ugly.
Yeah.
You know, it's exciting to stand here and look out at how beautiful it is and think, like, you know, just imagine once things are growing and it's so lush and we've started to turn it into our chaos, just how amazing it's gonna look.
Thanks for watching our video. We hope that your 2018 was as good as ours. Hit the subscribe button and ring that bell if you actually want to get notifications of when we post new videos. We're going to be pumping out a lot of content next year because we have so many projects to do that, you know, we're going to make a good effort to film it and show it all to you guys.
Yeah, we're hoping to be able to show you what we're visioning.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.